All right, so there's a little ticker that's been coming up a lot lately, VUZI. We've got the CEO, president, and director with us here today, and I believe we're going to roll a little introduction.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vuzix Corporation's presentation here at the Benzinga conference. Vuzix is a leading provider of augmented reality smart glasses in the enterprise space today. We're out of Rochester, New York. We're very well capitalized with over $140 million in the bank. And for a pile of reasons, our business has been accelerating significantly over the past year. I'll be sharing more about that coming up. The next big trend in technology is going to be smart glasses, but smart glasses that we wear everywhere. That said, it's going to start in the enterprise space, and that's where it's happening for Vuzix. Markets and many other research firms project upwards of $70 billion worth of market opportunity for smart glasses in enterprise by 2025. About a year and a half ago, Vuzix introduced our M400 smart glasses, and our revenues have been growing ever since. In fact, it's been quarter after quarter practically of growth from the day the M400 got into the marketplace. A bunch of factors are driving that. The M400 itself is an amazing product. It's one of the fastest, the best performing products in the marketplace today. And there's a pile of software applications that run on it today, enabling application after application in the enterprise space. And with it, as you can see, our revenues have set new records almost quarter after quarter. 2020 smart glasses sales were a record $10 million for Vuzix, up 106% year over year. We also introduced several new products in our product line, the M4000 and our Blade upgraded. Our OEM engagements have been expanding at the same time. Engineering revenues have grown 123% year over year. And again, our balance sheet has been significantly enhanced with over $145 million in the bank today. 2021 is also off to a great start for Vuzix. Our first quarter was $3.8 million in revenues for smart glasses sales, up year over year of 177%. And smart glasses demand so far in Q2 remain as healthy. There are many reasons why enterprises are adopting smart glasses today. They range from increasing productivity, eliminating travel costs, lowering carbon footprints of companies, reducing worker errors, protecting workers' health. And with each new application that comes out, there are more. It's just amazing how smart glasses are beginning to change enterprise. The markets that they're being used in today, for Vuzix, there's four primary ones: warehousing and logistics, manufacturing, telemedicine, and field service. With COVID, manufacturing and warehousing and logistics almost went to its knees. That said, telemedicine kicked into overdrive for Vuzix, and I'll explain more in a few minutes about that. And then the field service side of it, you might imagine if you can't get to a plant in China, but you can send a pair of glasses and see what's going on, you can continue operations. So those two pieces of our business really expanded. Vuzix has a line of smart glasses that is developed for the enterprise space today. The M400, which is our flagship. The M4000, very much like the M400, built on the same platform. However, the optics in this guy uses a waveguide, which are custom developed by Vuzix. You can see here that there's a window that you look into as opposed to an occluded view on the M400. The Blade upgraded is like a pair of sunglasses, a bit chunky, but it's the first pair in the world that look and feel much more like regular glasses. And finally, Vuzix is working on next generation glasses that look and feel like a regular pair of fashion-forward glasses. It's funny how the world thinks about things pre and post-COVID, but that's not different for Vuzix either. Just before COVID hit, Vuzix was working in remote support, a very small amount of stuff in healthcare. We had manufacturing activities going on. We were in retail, warehousing, third-party logistics. These were all things that were happening in a big way for Vuzix. Well, they were starting to. We had POCs all over the world where people were using our glasses and hoping to roll them out. COVID hit, and the demand for most of those market opportunities almost went to zero. That said, remote support in healthcare kicked into overdrive for Vuzix. And it makes sense. From a remote support perspective, if you can't get on a plane to fly someplace to check on operations, you have to come up with another way to do it. And smart glasses has become the way to do this. You put the glasses on, the camera looks forward, The person that's wearing the glasses is seeing right through the viewfinder of the glasses, and an expert on the other end, or an auditor on the other end, or a doctor on the other end can see what's going on and can help and support that activity. On the medical side, it's a very similar thing. People couldn't get into hospitals, so they started using smart glasses as a way to remote into the hospitals, and now today, our smart glasses are being used all over the place in the medical space. Now that the world's coming back post-COVID, the medical applications around Vuzix products are not slowing down. It was a great opportunity to introduce smart glasses to the medical space, and now it's becoming adopted as the standard fare for how things get done there. Remote support activities is not different. It's here to stay. This is how people are going to get things done. Why put a person on an airplane when you can just send a pair of glasses and save all that money? Besides the machine uptime, there's so many reasons why having a pair of glasses on site makes so much sense compared to where we were. That said, manufacturing, retail with in-store picking, logistics, third-party logistics, warehousing, all of that business seems to be coming back in a big way for Vuzix. We're quoting on many thousands of units in that part of the space today, and all of these POCs, or many of them that we had that were going before, are all starting to start back up again. So why Vuzix smart glasses? Vuzix smart glasses are ideal for healthcare, telemedicine, and quite frankly, many of the application areas because of the design. We've been at this for a very long time. We knew over the years that when you were making big, bulky, heavy devices, they just won't work. If you put it on and it hurts to use after an hour, it's going to fail if you need to use it for an 8-hour shift. Our products today are lightweight, truly wearable. They have a variety of different mounting options. You can see here this young lady's wearing our glasses. Below that, there's two gentlemen that are loaded up with PPE equipment. The guy on the right is getting ready to do an open heart surgery. The guy on the left is in an ICU. Most of our competitors cannot be worn in those kinds of environments with that kind of gear on. They're lightweight, flexible hardware to provide a variety of viewing options. That eyepiece can move anywhere. IP67 rated. They can be dipped underwater, cleaned with alcohol wipes, and they have great functionality with running applications, standard applications like Zoom, Skype, WebEx. These are all remote support kinds of applications, HIPAA compliant software applications, and they're currently being worked by medical professionals for as long as 16 hours. So you might imagine it's critically important that it's comfortable during that period of time. Over the last year in the medical space, our devices are being used around the world today. Pick a city, practically Vuzix's glasses are being used in hospitals in those cities. And the healthcare list continues to grow of companies and organizations that are using our glasses. It's just a non-stop activity in healthcare around our glasses. And the amazing thing for me is just before COVID, there was practically none of this activity happening. The medical space takes a long time to adopt new technology. COVID was an opportunity to introduce our glasses to the medical space, and they are being embraced now today. They're being used across the environment, from surgeries, examinations, training, virtual rounds, long-term care, emergency departments are using them today, surgery, ICUs. In fact, it's not just a remote support in kind of an application or out for training purposes. They're being used actually for within the surgeries themselves as the tool to do the surgery, which I'll explain a little bit more here shortly on. Let me start by giving you guys just a quick example of how our glasses might be used for the basic sort of remote training and or support while you're in an ICU, or in this case, in an operating theater. The video that I'm about ready to show you, the short clip, has a gentleman who's getting ready to do open heart surgery. And one of the things you'll notice, there's a little inset in the bottom right-hand corner. That's the video feed coming off the glasses. This gentleman is an expert in open heart surgery. He can use the glasses to share what he's doing with a group of 500 people. You'll notice there's no space around him for anybody to stand to see over his shoulder. But with these glasses on, with this high resolution, in fact, it's up to 4K broadcast quality transmission, anybody can look over his shoulder and actually see his bird's eye view, the catbird seat, as it were, right into the operation to learn how to do it.
这边请录影，这个线
有，已经在录了。
对，这个心脏跳动不正常。
1:53。
Let me give you another quick example. In this case, it's Pixie, a company called Pixie Medical. They do knee surgery. And the way they do it is you can see there's this little metal superstructure, I guess, sticking up there. And on top of it, there's a flag that looks like a QR code. The glasses are good enough that they can look at that QR code and see where it's positioned in space and the angle that it's at. What they'll do is they'll put two of those on the person's knee to get it adjusted appropriately so it's aligned right. The knee is aligned right. So when they put the pins in, it's accurate for the pin placement. The video speaks for itself. You'll notice he doesn't have to touch the glasses. He can talk to them, and the glasses, he can just tilt his head to control it. After all, it's an operation, so you have to stay sterile. Those are a couple of really good examples. I can tell you it's gratifying to think that every single day Vuzix's smart glasses are being used in hospitals around the world again. That said, Vuzix is working in a lot of other areas. In the wireless space, companies like KDDI, which is a very large carrier like a Verizon, but in Asia, they're using our glasses for their own internal activities, and they're selling solutions to their customers around our glasses with applications that they have written. We have relationships with companies like Verizon with 5G-enabled EMS solutions, and many other activities in development on that front. The stuff that you're seeing here on the medical side is being used around the world and in vertical market opportunities everywhere. So it's not just medical. We have Fortune 100 brands like insurance companies that are using our glasses. It's healthcare for surgical, as we just discussed. It's like companies like CooperVision right over down the street here that are using them to pick out of their warehouses. Again, it's enterprise, broad-based. Let me just talk quickly about the smart glasses themselves for a moment. As I've said, we've got the M400. It's a workhorse product. It's Android-based, running one of the latest Androids. It's got an XR1 8-core processor from Qualcomm. It's got full voice controls. For instance, when that doctor was doing the operation, he could change the brightness, he could zoom in, he could change the contrast. A remote operator could do that while he was wearing the glasses, but all of that can be done hands-free with the click of a button. It's got 4K broadcast quality cameras. It supports a broad range of accessories, which I'll describe in a moment here. Like I said, IP67. The M400 is occluded, and what that means is you look in that eyepiece, and you can't see through it unless the camera's running. The M4000, on the other hand, all the same features, IP67, ruggedized, etc. But in this case, when you look inside that window pane, you literally see the image floating out in front, like it's shown here with this gentleman wearing the glasses on the bench. As far as the competition is concerned, well, take a look. I mean, think about the application. You saw earlier all that PPE equipment people have to wear when they're in medical space. None of these competitors can work in that kind of an environment. And imagine trying to wear some of these things for an 8-hour shift. And they come with a pile of different mounting options. You can go with prescriptions over the top of your glasses. We have safety glasses that you can get your scripts in, hard hats. They can be worn left eye, they can be worn right eye, with baseball caps. Effectively very comfortable, lightweight, easy to wear all day long. You go into a company and we can solve their problem, whether it's in the warehouse or the construction site. And finally, we make a computer, and a computer is useless if you don't have applications to run on it. We have a plethora of applications available now, from Vuzix's own connectors to tie into things like Microsoft Teams and the likes, to partnerships with companies like TeamViewer, with UbiMax and Upskill now, SiteCall, WebEx. Well, you get the idea. All of these applications now are plug and play. You get the glasses, you turn them on, and you're at work with them, which is why this business is really starting to take off also. To wrap up, I'd like to take a minute just to talk about next generation technology and products coming from Vuzix, because it's critical. This business is going to really take off when you can make glasses that have the look and feel of conventional glasses. Vuzix 192 patents and patents pending around this next generation technology. Very shortly, we're going to be announcing some really cool stuff around these next generation micro LED display engines that Vuzix is building. And with those, you can put them in with our waveguides in glasses that are going to look and feel, like I said, just like a conventional pair of glasses. The glasses that these folks are wearing, literally, those are phones. You can get on the internet with them, you can make phone calls with them. This is the beginnings of a seed change to the future of wearable computing. To sum up, Vuzix has the most competitive augmented reality smart glasses product line in the world today. We're a global leader with enterprise, healthcare, and OEM customers across the board. Our revenues are steadily growing. We have the critical IP in the key areas of AR smart glasses and micro LED technology to put together and make glasses that we think will be glasses people will want to wear all day, every day. And Vuzix now has sufficient cash to fully execute on our business plan. It's a great time to be Vuzix, and thank you very much.
Wow.
Neil.
I think I'm speaking for a lot of the folks watching and actually internally at Benzinga. Wow. Your technology has achieved that coveted word in the space. We're all very impressed. I know that you guys are shipping a pair to the Benzinga office for us to check out and review. So I'll just watch the mailbox for that. But we do have a couple questions. I want to knock them out really quick. We only have about 60 seconds here with you. Do you mind, Paul, just kind of busting through some questions?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, cool. So number one is currently you're obviously making a very big push towards surgery as a primary application. What other applications are you looking at? And is there something on the roadmap for assisting the blind, for example, or the visually impaired?
Well, on the assisting of the visually impaired, there's no doubt that, even though these glasses have displays in them, they can be an incredible tool. And one of software partners that we have is writing software for our Blade that literally uses the cameras to see the outside world and then uses audio feedback, kind of like you tap on the floor with a cane, so you can get the reflections, and this thing will effectively paint a picture of what the world looks like in front of you. The gentleman who's using them the first time out and testing them, he's a photographer with these glasses now, which is pretty amazing, frankly. Other kinds of applications, in-store picking, packing, pallets, and in surgeries all over the place. Vuzix is really not a straight up medical company. I mean, it's the fact that these glasses are so flexible, and they can be used for so many things. You put a different piece of software on these glasses, and all of a sudden they do a completely different function. It's like a computer today. You can do a lot with them based upon the software that's in them, and the more applications that come, the more and the bigger the market opportunities are. So you'll see us show up in a lot of places, from inside of mines to warehouses to production floors to you name it.
So I will say, and I don't want to go too much over on time because we are, but I just have one question that I think is probably on the tip of everyone's mind. So you did touch on some of the peers or competitors in the space that have developed solutions that are somewhat cumbersome to wear or just have had outright failed launches altogether. What is your plan for remaining differentiated and superior in your niche market?
Well, first of all, we're about enterprise. I believe that our technology can be used in the consumer and the mass markets at the same time. We're building that core technology. Folks are coming to us, asking us if it might be available for them to use in those markets. But in enterprise, we're building software models, some of the applications, SaaS solutions, so our products become sticky. It's not just about a piece of hardware for Vuzix anymore. You'll see a complete ecosystem being built. That and the next generation technology that's going into making our glasses really puts us quite ahead of the competitors. We've been at it since '97, right? So we got a lot of depth and knowledge about how all this stuff works at Vuzix, and it's putting us, I think, ahead of most of the players out there.
Beautiful. Love the presentation. Paul, thank you so much for being with us today at the Small Cap Conference.
Yep, thank you.